much more than this. I did it my way.
This is my Story Corps conversation on February 27th, 2018 with my Nan. We talk about her love for her husband, Don, or we called him Bake or Pop, and her life when she was in the orphanage. Okay, Nanners. So, let's start with the orphanage. What was it like growing up in an orphanage?
It was really different, but I grew up in a big family. I had 7 brothers and 2 sisters. And when we were put in the home, when I was in 3rd grade, so I had lots of friends, because there were lots of kids in the home. But the nuns treated us with love, and I had a totally very good experience when it ended.
Do you know why you were put in the orphanage?
We were put in the orphanage because of family problems, and so we were taken away and put in the home. Yeah.
How long were you there for?
4 years, but it was 4 years that I remember the most out of my life.
What were some of the memories you remember?
Well, we all had jobs. We all, and there were so many of us in the Mount. Like there was a small girls section and an older girls section, a small boys section and an older boys section, and everything was on a schedule. That was different, and we ate 3 full meals and had to get up and get all the dishes washed and dried and the table set again before we left the school. And and we left the Mount and went out of the Mount to school, which was also run by nuns. So.
And what school was that?
St. John's in Rensselaer.
So you said you were in the orphanage for 4 years. So after the orphanage, where did you go?
Then I went and lived with my aunt. She took me out, and she had 2 sons, and those 2 sons...
So you were separated from your family?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And how did that affect your life?
Even though I didn't see much of my older brothers, there were 5 brothers older than me, I still felt their love. It was a special closeness. And my sisters, who were younger than me, were still in the home. So I really didn't get to see them as much.
How long was it before you met Pop?
I was 19 years old, and it was a blind date. And I thought he was very cocky and sure of himself, and he was a Marine, and he called me the next day to go out, and we went out, and I knew that day. We spent the whole day together. We went to a friend's home who had like 6 kids, and the house was bedlam, and just the way he handled himself and the way he treated me, I knew right away that I thought this was the guy. So we met on Christmas night. He gave me a diamond in January, and we were married in August.
Wow. So you were engaged after a month of being with each other?
Yeah, and he was in the service. He was a Marine, and he was being issued out, so he was stationed in New York. So we saw each other on the weekends.
Oh, so that is the definition of love at first sight.
Absolutely.
It's very special.
Right.
So how long were you guys together before you the snowman?
Let's see, how old is your mother? Your mother was 18 months old when we got the snowman. She's going to be 49.
So
We brought the snowman in from 1971. We brought it and we...
wow. So what was it like from when you got married until you bought the snowman? What were those years like? Just
Well,
lots of love?
Lots of love, lots of fun. Don was the most loving, affectionate man. He was very, he always smiled, he never argued. And that's not to say we had a perfect life, because we didn't, but he always made it right, you know. He taught me things too, because I used to get mad very easy, and he taught me that, you know, that's just wasted time to, you know, get mad. He loved to laugh, and we got pregnant. We got pregnant right away. We both wanted children very bad, and we had when we got married in August, and I had my first child in April, but I had my appendix out while I was carrying him. So then 2 years after that, we had Paul, and then like 3 years after that, we had Terry, and then 7 years after that, I went to an afternoon cocktail party, and lo and behold, 9 months later, I had your mother.
An oopsie baby.
Yes. Yeah.
So when you bought, were you, how do I word this? Were you happy that you bought the snowman?
I was afraid. Your grandfather had a full-time job, and, you know, he made good money. And
what was he doing before the snowman?
He was a wholesale milkman, which meant he drove the big trucks and delivered to the colleges and stores. So he had a good job, and I wasn't sure, you know, if this would work out, if we would make money, because we were just selling one thing, ice cream, and we were only open 7 months a year, so I was afraid, you know, we couldn't make out. But we did, and I think not only was it a good business, but the man who sold us to us was a wonderful man, and he ran that business good. So by the time we got it, it was well established, and your grandfather absolutely loved going to work every day.
Mm-hmm.
He loved all the people. He loved making the ice cream. I worked alongside of him.
The whole family worked too.
Yeah, all your uncles and aunts worked there, and you know, they paid for their own cars. When the kids, they went to a Catholic small high school, and they paid their own tuition, and they worked hard. They learned how to work too, which is a good thing. So it was a good experience all ways around.
So even though he was working this much, you still knew that he loved you.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
So,
and I didn't work nights, so, you know, for all those years, it almost was like I was a widow at night. But when he came home, I knew I was always the first thing on his mind. So, you know, he would bring me "I Love You" Day presents,
mm-hmm.
which at that time that wasn't. Nobody said that or did that. Now, today, it's common. But he'd bring me penny candy, which he knew I liked, and, you know, always brought flowers, and he wrote me poems for every occasion. So I kind of thought I was pretty special, because he made me feel special.
And what were those called? I love you days?
I love you days.
Yep.
I'd say, what is this for, Don? He'd have a bag or a box, and he'd say, it's just because I love you. It's an I love you day present. So I always knew, I never doubted.
And what were some of the best memories you had with him?
Oh my God, so many memories. He absolutely loved Christmas. Absolutely. We had boxes, and the kids had toys, and we would save up. And one Christmas, he gave me a box, and the box was decorated beautifully. And I thought, oh boy, this is going to be a good one. And when I opened it up, it was a box of coal. But in that box of coal was a smaller box. And he had given me a diamond when we got engaged, and it was a small one. I thought it was wonderful. But he had gotten me a new diamond, a bigger diamond. So he said, I really didn't deserve gold. I deserved diamonds. So I thought that was good.
Quite a man.
He was a great man, yes.
So when was he diagnosed with Alzheimer's?
Let's see.
I was in that was when he passed away. I was in second grade.
Right. No, when we came up here, he had, so it was in 1999. He was officially diagnosed with it.
We should talk about that too. When did you come and move in with us?
And
we built the addition.
1999.
Were you excited about that?
Oh my God, we were so excited. Well, because at that point, Pop was so bad. I knew I needed. I wouldn't be able to take care of the house that we had. It was kind of big, and big yard and lots of rooms. And Pop couldn't do any work anymore because he couldn't remember. That's why we had to sell the snowman, because the year we sold it, had we not sold it, he would not have been able to open because he couldn't remember how to make the ice cream. So we were very fortunate that we sold it, and sold it to such a wonderful young man. But we were here every day while they were building the addition. And at one point, we had sold our house to Aunt Terry and Uncle Paul, and I told them we had to stay there until this house was built. And your mother, one day, but our furniture was in the garage, our bedroom furniture. And one day your mother just came down with Uncle Donnie and a truck, and they said, we can't wait for you to get up here. We're bringing you up. So we slept in what is your bedroom now, on the floor, on mattresses. And we thought that was fun too. And it's been 19 years and we're still here. And I'm loving every minute of it.
Oh, trust me, we're loving every minute of it too, Nan.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be the same without you here.
Right.
So has it been hard without Pop?
He was very affectionate, as you well know. And I miss that because he was a big, big hugger. And I miss the hugs. But I still feel he's here.
Yeah. All those times on my birthday when that Yankee clock would sing happy birthday and no one ever programmed it to do that, those are his signs, right?
Right.
And whenever we'd go to Delmonico's and they'd sing his song.
Yeah.
That's how we can tell.
And he loved all the grandkids. When we first moved up here, you kids were so little, and we had gotten a wagon, so we could put both of you in a wagon and wheel you down to the park. We used to love to do that. And then, we used to wait for the school bus to come so you kids could get off the bus And Sid would run upstairs quick so we could watch Divine Design together. And it's just a happy place to be up here.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
I love it too, Nan. All right. Well, I think that's about it. It's been great talking to you, Nanners. Love you.
I love you too, Luke.
and now